Hey there, vape fans. This is Chaps with Mount Baker Vapor. Today we're going to be going over the Cana DNA 30 that we have here. So this is a Hana clone, but it is a really good piece of equipment, and we're going to be going over some of the advantages of it today. Alrighty, so when you first get your Cana in the mail, it's going to come in this fairly nondescript black box, but don't let that fool you. There's a great piece of hardware here inside. So the first thing you'll do is you'll just open up one end of it. Now inside it's going to come with the charging cable. It's retractable. It's a pretty nice charging cable. You get that. You also get this little mini blue screwdriver. And this is what you're going to use to first unscrew the threads on the mod. So then you're going to get this. This is your beautiful brand new Cana mod. As you can see, we got the blue one here. You got a charging port here, your display here, and you got your buttons right here on the side. On the back here, you'll notice that there's two somewhat loose screws that are actually inside of the device itself. That's where this little screwdriver is going to come in handy. So you take the screwdriver and you just gently unthread it, and then you can use your fingertips to actually get it the rest of the way. Now this is a pretty small screwdriver, so for some people it may not work the best. If you got just a little household screwdriver, the size of the actual head on that isn't that small. It's not microscopic. It's pretty decent. Most handheld, screwdrivers will do just fine. So then you'll remove the back plate off of this, and inside you're going to have the guts of the mod where you're going to put your battery inside. So we're going to go ahead and take our battery and just slap that right in there, just like so. Then we're going to go ahead, put the back case back on. You want to make sure that the wider of the two, you can see that there's kind of this narrow little indentation right here, and then you've got a larger one. That larger one is going to sit over your battery, just so you know. If you put it on the other way, it's not going to fit, so go ahead and make sure that you have this wider field over the actual battery itself, just like that. Take your screws, place them back inside of the holes there, and then you'll just thread them in. They don't have to be Hercules tight. They just need to be hand tight on there. They're pretty solid construction, so you don't really have to worry about it coming apart, and that's going to do us just fine. Plus, you don't want to strip the threads. If you strip the threads, you can cause some problems. So, all right. As you can see here, this is a 510 connection, so you're going to need to use a 510 threaded tank or dripper. Now right away, after you put the battery inside, you'll see that the display turns right on. Alright, so right now we've got it set to where it's at 10.2 watts. I think that that's just because of the factory settings or whatnot, but you can also adjust it. So we've got the buttons here and here. Pretty straightforward. If you click this button 5 times, that's your firing button, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you're going to notice that it's going to come up and it's going to say locked, just like that. Click 5 times locked. Alright, while it's locked, that's when you can adjust some of the other little neat settings that this one has. So if you press this button, your fire button, and you press the top up wattage adjustment, you're going to see it go like this. Right mode, which is default, you hold it for 5 seconds. Left mode. Left mode makes it to where the device actually switches to the other side. So then if for those lefties out there, you're going to have a little bit of a more accessible display. To switch it back, do the same thing. Hold it for 5 seconds. Left mode. Right mode. Alright, so So then you've also got your stealth mode setting, which is great because you actually just go ahead and, while it's in the lock setting like before, after you've clicked it 5 times and it says locked, you'll press the down wattage adjustment button, this guy right here, and you'll hold that and the fire button for 5 seconds. normal mode, stealth mode. Stealth mode means that the display turns off. So you actually don't have this bright blue display that's causing any issues there. You'll still get a battery indicator, but it doesn't actually show the whole display unless you're adjusting. And then to undo that, make sure that it's locked. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Locked. Click both buttons, hold. And then it's going to go back to normal mode. Normal mode's going to have the whole setup there. Now, once it's locked, just 5 more clicks, and it's going to be unlocked there. And then, as said before, you got your wattage up and wattage up here and your wattage down here. If I click wattage up, it's going to go in 0.1 watt increments up to your required wattage that you're looking for, and then your wattage down here. You can also click and hold if you want it to go a little bit faster. It takes a couple seconds to ramp up, and then it goes super fast. And as you know, this is a DNA 30 clone chip, so this can go all the way up to 30 watts right there. Alrighty, pretty straightforward. I personally prefer to keep this thing right around the 10 to 11 watt range, just because that's what works best on most tanks I've found. Some tanks will function better at a lower range, some tanks will function much better at a higher range, but I'm going to show you right here what I mean. So I'm going to go ahead and ramp this up to 10.5 watts. Right there. And then we'll go ahead and take our full-size Nautilus tank on here. Once that's on there, you've got your active display here. And the active display is going to show you that you've got your ohms reading right here at the top, and then what the voltage output is to get to that requisite wattage rating right there. So use Ohm's law, does all the work for you. And then, vape's great. Alright, so this is your charging port here at the bottom. That means you'll never have to remove the battery from the device. It's a micro USB charger, comes with this one right here, which is perfect. You'll just plug the micro USB charger here into the base. And then once that's in there, you're going to go ahead and plug this into any USB charger. And that's going to go ahead and make sure that the device is charged with the battery indicator right there. There is no indicator light on the base, but that's okay. When this is plugged in and charging, you'll see a little bit of a red hue kind of glow around the display itself, which is going to tell you when it's actually charging. Alrighty, well that was the Cana mod, the DNA 30 here. You know, as always, if you have any questions or concerns, leave them in the comments field below. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share with your friends. And as always, vape on.